Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Advanced Warfare in Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the EM1 Sweet Dreams variant, and you're going to get to see me using it how it should be used, which is in a more conservative role. This is the faster overheating, but much lower recoil variant of the EM1, and when you say Sweet Dreams to me, I'm thinking about Sweet Dreams from the Eurythmics, but unfortunately I can't play a clip of that. I'm almost guaranteed to get a copyright strike. Let's talk about the stats of this weapon. The vertical recoil is slightly reduced. It has approximately 10% less kick per shot. And keep in mind that this weapon doesn't shoot normally, it just fires one bullet or hit scan per frame, so it's going to feel like 10% less upward drift. It has a more sort of constant vertical upward pull. We have 10% less of that slight reduction. It'll feel kind of like having a foregrip on it, maybe not quite, but the big recoil reduction on the EM1 Sweet Dreams is that the horizontal recoil is greatly reduced. We have approximately 20% less wobble. Wobble is not a technical variable by any means, that's just kind of the side to side kick as it drifts back, forth, left, right. It'll be much easier to control with having almost only vertical recoil, and I don't think that many of you will have a difficult time with it. However, that's not the only good thing that we have going on with the Sweet Dreams. It also seems to have a slightly different hipfire spread. The hipfire spread mathematically is the exact same as normal, but it seems far less erratic. It seems less aggressive, it seems less random inside the circle. I think that's probably just because I was lucky enough to unlock the EM1 Poner as one of my first variants, and I spent almost all of my time using the Poner, which has wider hipfire spread and which has more view kick, so going down two steps on both, it probably feels like it's better than it really is. Really, this is normal hipfire spread, but as we all tend to gravitate toward higher damage variants with wider spread and more kick or something like that, going back down to normal will feel very good. It also comes with a free target enhancer sight. This is the only EM1 variant that comes with any sort of integrated attachment whatsoever, and we get a target enhancer. Target enhancer does slightly increase your ADS time, not significantly. I doubt you'd note it. I mean, we're talking on an order of like single milliseconds here, so I wouldn't worry about that. It allows you to use the red highlighting to track enemies at distances, and it's almost as good as a red dot sight. It's a little bit, a little bit clunkier than a red dot, but I'm still very happy with it. Unfortunately, since I'm colorblind, the red highlighting doesn't help me very much. It just kind of makes my targets look more flat than anything else. Some people really don't like the built-in iron sights on the EM1. Personally, I'm very comfortable with the EM1 default sights. I can aim very well with them, but again, some players don't. Some players struggle with that sort of setup, so this will be nice for them. The only downside to this weapon is that if you look on the stat chart, it'll say that it has a slower rate of fire. What this actually means is that it will overheat 10% faster than normal. For whatever reason, on the energy weapon variants, they all fire at the exact same rate, regardless of other stuff. So this is going to fire at the same speed as the Poner or the Polar Vortex or the End or the Last Laugh or the Lel or anything, but it will overheat faster. It will overheat 10% faster than normal. It adds 10% extra heat per shot compared to the base variant, but that can be very easily fixed with a heatsink. I mean, once you put a heatsink on it, it'll feel like it'll feel better than normal, obviously. I don't actually run the heatsink on very many of my EM1 variants, so while I was running the heatsink on this one, it felt very, very good, despite having that small nerf. As for what I think about this weapon, I think that this is a very good variant if you like to use the EM1 as a long-range suppression weapon. The variants that I've recommended, stuff like the Poner or the Lel or anything with higher damage, those are going to feel very, very melty, very sort of close range, get up in your face and hose them with lasers. This one is the exact opposite. The strength of the EM1 Sweet Dreams is in your long-range combat because the recoil is so low. You know that guy on the other side of map that goes prone and just kind of sprays you with laser? Not often getting kills, but just kind of pegging you so that the other people kill you faster. That's how you should use this weapon. You have to stay near to the back. You have to kind of use it more like an LMG, which is a heavy weapon anyway. And you might not be getting a ton of kills, but you will get a fair amount of assist, and if you can position yourself properly, you can easily get kills while people with higher recoil weapons try to engage you, and you can constantly put bullets on them and cause them to flinch and not be able to hit you. Very, very good like that. Again, just don't use it face to face. You won't have the best of times. As for what I think is best with this weapon, I run it with gung-ho just like I do the Poner or the other EM1 variants, because it's nice to be able to hip-fire the EM1. Even though this is more of an ADS EM1, hip-firing is still very, very strong in this weapon class, and I'd recommend that you do it whenever it's appropriate. Gung-ho makes that easier. I also run foregrip and heatsink. If I'm going to have a very accurate laser, I'm going to make make it the most accurate laser possible with the foregrip. Very, very low recoil this way, and because it does overheat 10% faster, and I'm engaging targets further away, which means that I'll need, more shots to hit them, and I'll miss a few, whatever. Again, the heatsink will allow you to fire longer than a normal EM1 despite the small nerf on this one, and I feel that it's actually a very good attachment on this particular variant. Guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. You could also check out the previous video, which was on the ASM1 competence, and the next video is going to be on the Morris Pummeler, which I've got some pretty good unique info on that one. Drifter out.